The hospital called at 2:47 a.m. My wife had gonorrhea. She wasn't in Colorado at a meditation retreat. She was 12 minutes from our house with my best man. How long has the man I called brother been sleeping with my wife? And why did it take a disease to expose the truth? I'm Nathan Parker. I teach second grade at Riverside Elementary. I've been married to Jennifer for 8 years. I have a mortgage, a golden retriever named Scout, and a best friend I've known since college. Derek Thompson had a best friend. The nurse on the phone spoke in that professional monotone healthcare workers use when delivering bad news. Flat effect, no judgment, just facts. Mr. Parker, your wife was admitted to the emergency department at 11:43 p.m. with severe pelvic pain. We've run tests. She has a sexually transmitted infection, gonorrhea. She's stable now, but we need to discuss partner notification and treatment. I sat up in bed. The room tilted. I'm sorry, there's been a mistake. My wife is in Colorado. She's been gone for 10 days. She's at a silent meditation retreat. Sir, your wife is in room 347. She listed you as her emergency contact. We need you to come in for testing and... I hung up. I stared at my phone. The screen said 2:47 a.m. The date said October 15th. Jennifer left October 1st, 14 days ago. She wasn't supposed to be back until October 17th. I called her cell. It rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. Her voice bright and warm. Hi, you've reached Jennifer. I'm probably on a trail or in Downward Dog. Leave a message. I didn't leave a message. I drove to the hospital in my pajama pants and a jacket. The roads were empty. The streetlights blurred past. My brain kept trying to solve a math problem that didn't make sense. Gonorrhea. We'd been monogamous. 8 years. I'd been tested at my annual physical in June. Clean. She'd been tested at her gynecologist in March. She'd told me everything was normal, which meant. I parked in the emergency lot and walked through the automatic doors. The fluorescent lights were too bright. A security guard nodded at me. I found room 347 on the 3rd floor. Jennifer was in a hospital bed, IV in her arm, staring at the ceiling. She looked small. Her hair was tangled. She wasn't wearing makeup. She turned her head when I walked in. Nathan. I stood in the doorway. I couldn't move closer. The nurse called me. I said, She said you have gonorrhea. Jennifer's face crumpled. She started crying. Not loud, theatrical sobs, the quiet kind, where your shoulders shake and you can't catch your breath. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I pulled a chair over to the bed and sat down. My hands felt numb. You were in Colorado. I wasn't. You were at a meditation retreat in Estes Park. You sent me a picture of the mountains. That was stock photo from Google. The room was very quiet. The IV machine beeped. Someone walked past in the hallway. Where were you? She closed her eyes. With Derek. I heard the words. I understood the words, but they didn't connect to meaning. It was like she'd said them in a foreign language. Derek Thompson? I said, My Derek? Yes. For 10 days. Yes. I stood up. The chair scraped against the tile floor. I walked to the window. The parking lot stretched out below, orange under the sodium lights. A car pulled in. A couple got out, holding hands, hurrying toward the entrance. Someone else's emergency. How long? I said. Nathan, how long have you been fucking my best friend? She flinched. I'd never used that tone with her before. Hard. Ugly. 6 months, she said. It started in April. April. Her mother's birthday party. Derek had been there. He'd brought a bottle of wine. He'd made Jennifer laugh while I was in the kitchen cutting the cake. I remembered thinking, I'm glad they get along. I turned around. You need to leave, Jennifer said. The nurse said I'm contagious. You need to get tested. I looked at her, really looked. The woman I'd married, the woman I'd promised forever to. She was a stranger. Yeah, I said, I do. I walked out. I didn't look back. The nurse gave me paperwork at the discharge desk. Bright white pages with the hospital logo at the top. I skimmed the text, clinical language, Neisseria gonorrhoeae, positive. There was a red stamp next to the diagnosis. Positive. It looked like a brand. Partner notification is required, the nurse said. You'll need to inform anyone you've had sexual contact with in the last 60 days and get tested yourself. Here's a list of clinics. I took the papers. They were stiff, impersonal, the kind of paper that doesn't bend easily. I drove home. I didn't remember the drive. It was 4:30 a.m. when I got back to the house. Scout was asleep on the couch. I sat down next to him and scratched his ears. He yawned and stretched and went back to sleep. I pulled out my phone and scrolled back through my texts with Jennifer. October 1st, 7:42 a.m. Jennifer, heading out. I'll miss you so much. 10 days of silence is going to be hard, but I need this reset. Love you, October 1st, 7:45 a.m. Me, you've got this, babe. Find your zen. I'll be here when you get back. October 5th, 9:13 p.m. Me, how's the retreat? Oh, wait, you can't respond, LOL. Miss you. Scout misses you. House is too quiet. October 9th, 6 gal p.m. Me, 1 week down. Hope you're feeling centered. Can't wait to hear all about it. No responses? Because it was a silent retreat. No phones allowed. That's what she told me. I got up and walked to the kitchen. There was a brochure on the counter, half buried under a stack of mail. Glossy trifold. I pulled it out. Estes Park Zen Retreat, 10 days of silence and self-discovery. The front had photos of mountain vistas, prayer flags, a woman in lotus position on a wooden deck overlooking pine trees. The back listed testimonials. Life-changing. I found myself again. The silence healed me. I opened the brochure. The interior showed photos of meditation yurts, a communal dining hall, hiking trails. The schedule, 5 a.m. wake-up bell. Meditation until 7 a.m., breakfast, walking meditation, lunch, journaling, dinner, evening meditation, lights out at 9 p.m. It looked real. It looked expensive. Jennifer had shown me this brochure 3 weeks ago. She'd said it cost $1,800 for the full 10 days. I told her to go for it. She'd been stressed at work. Her marketing job was draining her. She'd said she needed space to breathe. I'd told her I understood. I'd told her I loved her. I'd told her to take all the time she needed. The brochure smelled like fresh ink and expensive paper. Too perfect, like the lie. I called the retreat center. It was 5 a.m. in Colorado, 6 a.m. Mountain Time. Someone answered on the third ring. A woman's voice, calm and soothing. Estes Park Zen Retreat. This is Monica speaking. Hi, I said. I'm trying to confirm that my wife attended your recent 10-day silent retreat. Jennifer Parker. She would have been there October 1st through... I'm sorry, sir, but we don't have a Jennifer Parker in our system, and we haven't hosted a 10-day retreat in the last 3 weeks. Our next program doesn't start until November. The kitchen got very quiet. Are you sure? Yes, sir. I manage all registrations personally. No Jennifer Parker. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, I said. Thank you. I hung up. I stood there holding the brochure. The woman on the cover smiled at me, serene and centered. I wanted to rip it in half. I wanted to burn it. Instead, I set it back on the counter, perfectly aligned with the edge. If you've ever trusted someone completely, like no questions asked, trusted them, you know that feeling when the first crack appears. It's not loud. It's just there. If you felt that, leave "I've been there" in the comments. Sometimes it helps to know you're not alone in the shattering. I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch with Scout until the sun came up. At 7 a.m., I called in sick to work. I never called in sick. Mrs. Henderson, the school secretary, sounded concerned. Are you okay, Nathan? You never miss a day. I'm fine, I said. Just need a personal day. At 8:30 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from Derek. Derek, hey man, you around today? Want to grab lunch? Been too long. I stared at the message. My thumbs hovered over the keyboard. I typed, "Fuck you." I deleted it. I typed, "I know." I deleted it. I didn't respond. At 9:00 a.m., there was a knock on my door. I opened it. Mrs. Patterson from next door stood on my porch holding a casserole dish. "Nathan, honey, I saw your car was here and thought I'd check in. You're never home on a weekday. Everything okay?" Mrs. Patterson was 74, widowed, and the neighborhood's self-appointed guardian. She noticed everything. "I'm fine, Mrs. Patterson. Just taking a day." She peered past me into the house, concerned. "Where's Jennifer? I haven't seen her car in a while." "She's at a retreat. She'll be back in a couple days." Mrs. Patterson's face did something strange, a flicker of confusion. "A retreat?" "Yeah, in Colorado." She set the casserole dish on the porch railing. "Nathan, I don't want to pry, but are you sure she's in Colorado?" My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "I saw her multiple times over the last week and a half. Her car was parked at the Arbors Apartments. You know, that complex over on Maple Street. I thought maybe she was visiting a friend, but it was late at night a few times. I didn't want to say anything, but since you mentioned she was out of town, I thought, what times?" I said. "When did you see her?" Mrs. Patterson looked uncomfortable. "Wednesday night, around 11 p.m., Friday afternoon, Sunday morning early, I was driving past on my way to church. Her car was definitely there. The Arbors, Maple Street, 12 minutes from our house. Derek lived at the Arbors." "Thank you, Mrs. Patterson," I said. "I really appreciate you telling me." "Nathan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's okay, really. Thank you." I closed the door. I leaned against it. My phone buzzed again, a text from an unknown number. Then I realized it was Sarah, Derek's wife. We'd exchanged numbers years ago at a barbecue, but rarely texted directly. "Sarah, Nathan, is Derek with you? He said he was going on a guy's fishing trip with you and some friends. But I just called the lake lodge," he mentioned, "and they said they don't have a reservation under his name. I'm probably being paranoid, but can you just confirm he's with you?" I read the message 3 times. A fishing trip. With me. I hadn't seen Derek in 2 weeks. We'd texted sporadically, mostly him sending me OE memes or asking about weekend plans. Nothing about fishing. I called Sarah. She answered immediately. "Nathan." "Sarah, hi. No, Derek's not with me. I'm not on a fishing trip. I'm at home." Silence. "Oh," she said. Her voice was very small. "Oh, God." "Sarah, he left last Tuesday, October 1st. He said it was a guy's trip. 4 days of fishing. Then he extended it. Said you guys were having such a good time. He's been texting me updates, pictures of the lake, a campfire." I thought. "Jennifer left October 1st, I said. "She told me she was going to a meditation retreat in Colorado. For 10 days. She wasn't in Colorado. She was at the Arbors. My neighbor saw her." "The Arbors?" Sarah's voice cracked. "That's where we live. That's our apartment." The room spun. "Sarah, I need to ask you something." "Okay. Do you have a Ring doorbell?" "Yes, why?" "Can you check the footage? From October 1st until now." I heard her breathing, fast and shallow. "Hold on." I waited. Seconds felt like hours. I could hear her moving, tapping on her phone, then a sharp intake of breath. "Oh my God!" "What?" "Nathan, I'm sending you a link. You need to see this." My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. "Sarah, Ring doorbell footage. I'm so sorry." I clicked the link. The video loaded. My stomach dropped. The screen showed Derek's apartment door. Black and white footage, night vision, timestamp October 1st, 8:47 p.m. Jennifer walked into frame. She was wearing jeans and a sweater. She carried an overnight bag, the small navy one she used for weekend trips. She knocked. The door opened. Derek appeared. He smiled. She smiled back. He pulled her inside. The door closed. I skipped ahead. October 3rd, 2:14 p.m. Color footage, daylight. Jennifer leaving the apartment. She looked relaxed, happy. She got into her car and drove away. October 5th, 9 hours p.m. Jennifer arriving again. Night vision. Derek opened the door. She kissed him, not on the cheek, on the mouth. A long kiss. Then they went inside. October 7th, 11:03 a.m. Jennifer leaving. She was wearing different clothes, Derek's clothes. An oversized gray t-shirt and sweatpants. October 9th, 6 a.m. Jennifer leaving again. Early morning, she was wearing a gray hoodie, too big for her, Derek's college hoodie, the one with the university logo on the front. I remembered that hoodie. Derek had worn it to my bachelor party. We'd gone to a sports bar, played pool, drank too much beer. I'd spilled beer on my shirt. Derek had loaned me his jacket. He'd said, "Brothers share everything." The video kept playing. October 10th, 11:30 p.m., Jennifer arriving. October 11th, 7:15 a.m., Jennifer leaving. 12 clips total, 10 days, in and out, in and out. My phone rang. Sarah, Nathan. I saw it. I didn't know, she said. She was crying. I swear to God I didn't know. I thought he was with you. I know. I believe you. What do we do? I looked at my living room. The wedding photo on the mantle, me and Jennifer. Derek standing beside me as my best man, grinning at the camera. Sarah next to Jennifer as a bridesmaid. All of us smiling. That photo was taken 8 years ago, October 12th, 2016. I don't know, I said, but I did know one thing. The man standing next to me in that photo, the man who'd stood beside me when I said I do, who'd given a speech about loyalty and brotherhood, wasn't my brother. He was just a liar in a tuxedo, and he'd been wearing that same gray hoodie when he toasted to my marriage. I went back to the hospital that afternoon. Jennifer had been moved to a regular room. The IV was gone. She was sitting up in bed, staring at her phone. She looked up when I walked in. Her eyes were red and swollen. Nathan. I pulled a chair close to the bed and sat down. I didn't speak. I just waited. I'm sorry, she said again. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I am sorry. Tell me the truth, I said. All of it. How long? How it started. Everything. She set her phone down on the bedside table. I saw the screen for a split second before it went dark. A contact name, DT, with a heart emoji. DT, Derek Thompson. 6 months, she said. It started in April at your school's fundraiser gala. You were helping set up tables. Derek and I were sitting outside on the patio. We were just talking. He asked how I was doing. Really asked, you know? And I told him I'd been feeling disconnected from everything, from you. I kept my face neutral. I didn't react. We started texting, she continued. Just as friends, he'd check in, ask how my day was. It felt nice. It felt like someone was paying attention. I paid attention. I know you did. Nathan, this isn't your fault. You were a good husband. You are a good husband. This is on me. When did it become physical? She looked down at her hands. There was a hospital wristband on her left wrist, white plastic with a barcode, her name printed in black, Jennifer Parker, date of birth, medical record number, all the data that reduced a person to a patient. June, she said. We met for coffee. Then coffee became lunch. Then lunch became more. It was only supposed to be one weekend. Derek said he'd always wondered, what if? My chest tightened. What if what? She looked at me. Really looked at me. And I saw it then, the thing I'd missed for 8 years. The thing I'd never thought to look for. What if he'd never let me go in college? The room tilted. In college. We dated freshman year, August to October 2007. 2 months. It wasn't serious. We were kids. But when he introduced you to me in November, I fell for you. Hard. And Derek stepped back. He let it happen. He was a good friend to both of us. I stood up. I couldn't sit anymore. He introduced us. Yes. Derek introduced me to his ex-girlfriend and watched me fall in love with her. Nathan, for 8 years, he's been my best friend, my best man. He stood next to me at our wedding and gave a speech about brotherhood. And the entire time he was thinking about how you were his first. It wasn't like that. What was it like, Jennifer? She started crying again. I didn't comfort her. I stood by the window and looked out at the parking lot. The same parking lot I'd stared at 6 hours ago. Everything looked different now. The same physical space, but all the meaning had changed. He said he'd always regretted letting me go, Jennifer whispered. He said he'd spent 15 years wondering if we were supposed to be together, and when we started talking again in April, it felt like maybe we'd missed our chance the first time. Like maybe this was the universe giving us another shot. The universe? I said. That's what you're going with? The universe made you lie to me for 6 months? The universe made you fake a meditation retreat? The universe gave you gonorrhea? She flinched. That was an accident. Derek didn't know he had it. He got tested after I told him. He's being treated too. How considerate of him. Nathan, please. I turned around. Did you love him? I don't know. Did you love me? Yes, I do. I still do. Then how could you do this? She didn't have an answer. Or she did, and it wouldn't make sense to anyone but her. I walked toward the door. Wait, she said. Where are you going? Home. And you're not. Nathan, when you're discharged, you'll go somewhere else. Your sister's, your mom's, a hotel. I don't care. But you're not coming back to our house. Can we talk about this? We just did. I left. I drove home. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I felt hollow, like someone had reached inside my chest and scooped out everything vital. When I got home, I went to the garage and dug through boxes I hadn't opened in years. College stuff, old textbooks, notebooks, a box labeled 2007-2008. I found it on the bottom, the university yearbook. I carried it inside and sat on the couch. Scout jumped up next to me. I opened the yearbook. The pages were that glossy stock that sticks together after years of being closed. I peeled them apart carefully. Freshman class photos, clubs, sports teams, campus events, page 47, student life section. There. A photo grid of the freshman welcome mixer, September 14th, 2007. Third row, second photo, Derek and Jennifer, his arm around her shoulder, both of them smiling. They looked young, unformed. Derek's hair was longer. Jennifer wore a sundress I'd never seen. They looked happy. The date stamp in the corner, September 14th, 2007. I met Jennifer November 3rd, 2007. I remembered the exact date because it was the day after my 20th birthday. Derek had thrown me a party at his dorm. Jennifer had been there. She'd been friendly, funny, easy to talk to. At the end of the night, Derek had said, "Jen's cool, right? You guys should hang out." I thought he was being a good wingman. He'd been passing off his ex-girlfriend. I counted backward in my head. September to October, 2 months. November 3rd, I meet Jennifer, which meant Derek and Jennifer broke up sometime late October, and less than 2 weeks later, Derek introduced her to me. My phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. I answered. "Nathan, it's Mark Chen, from college." Mark. I hadn't talked to him in years. We'd been in the same dorm freshman year, part of the same friend group with Derek. "Mark, hey, what's up?" "Dude, I heard through the grapevine that you and Jennifer are going through something. Sarah called my wife. I just wanted to reach out. If you need anything..." "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." "Listen, I don't know if this matters, but you know Derek and Jennifer dated freshman year, right? Before you guys got together." My grip tightened on the phone. "I just found out today." "Oh, shit. I thought you knew. I mean, it was only like 2 months. And Derek seemed fine with you guys getting together. He even told me he thought you two were perfect for each other. I just assumed everyone was on the same page." "Did he ever say anything to you about still having feelings for her?" Mark was quiet for a moment. "Not directly, but sophomore year after you and Jen got serious, Derek got really drunk one night. We were at some party. He said something like, I let the best thing go because I was too young to know what I had. I thought he was being dramatic. You know how people get when they're drunk and nostalgic. Yeah, I said. I know. I'm sorry, man. This is fucked. Thanks for calling, Mark. I hung up. I opened my laptop and went to Facebook. I typed Derek Thompson into the search bar and went to his profile. I scrolled back, way back, 2007. There, September 2007. Tagged photos. Derek at the freshman mixer, Derek at a football game, Derek and Jennifer at a coffee shop, her head on his shoulder. October 1st, 2007. The caption, Fall Vibes with This One. October 28th, 2007. A status update from Derek. Sometimes you have to let go of what's good to make room for what's great. November 5th, 2007. A photo of me, Derek, and Jennifer at a diner. Derek had his arm around both of us. The caption, Best friends, can't wait to see where life takes us. I closed the laptop. 15 years. I'd known Derek for 15 years. He'd been at my college graduation, my wedding, every birthday, every major life event. He'd helped me move into this house. He'd brought beer and pizza and assembled furniture while we listened to music and talked about nothing. And the entire time, he'd been thinking about the girl who got away, the girl who became my wife. I needed to confront him. I texted Derek, me, we need to talk. Meet me at the Starbucks on 5th in an hour. Derek, sure man, everything okay? I didn't respond. The Starbucks parking lot was mostly empty. I got there early and sat in my car, waiting. At 4:47 p.m., Derek pulled in. He got out of his truck and walked toward the entrance. He saw me and waved. I got out and walked toward him. He smiled, that easy, familiar smile, the one I'd seen 1,000 times. Hey, Nate, what's going on? You sounded serious. Let's walk, I said. We walked to the side of the building where there was a small patio area. Empty tables, no one around. I know, I said. Derek's smile faltered. Know what? About you and Jennifer. His face changed. The smile disappeared. For a second, he looked genuinely surprised. Then something else. Resignation. How long have you known? Since this morning, hospital called. Jennifer has gonorrhea, so do you, I'm guessing. She wasn't in Colorado. She was at your apartment. For 10 days. Sarah has ring footage. Derek looked down. He shoved his hands in his pockets. Shit. That's all you have to say? Shit? What do you want me to say, Nathan? I'm sorry. I am. But I'm not going to stand here and lie to you anymore. Anymore? You've been lying to me for 6 months. No. You've been lying to me for 15 years. He looked up. What are you talking about? You dated Jennifer in college, August to October 2007. Then you introduced her to me. You stood there and played matchmaker with your ex-girlfriend. Why? Derek laughed. Not a happy laugh. A bitter one. Because I was 20 years old and stupid. Jennifer broke up with me. She said we were too immature for a serious relationship. And I thought, fine, whatever. Then I saw the way she looked at you at that party. And I thought, maybe if I stepped back, maybe if I let her see what a good guy looked like, she'd realize what she lost. But you know what happened instead? What? She fell in love with you. Actually fell in love. And I had to watch it. I had to be the best friend, the supportive guy, the best man at your fucking wedding. You could have said something. You could have told me. And what? Ruin your happiness? Make things awkward? I tried to let it go, Nathan. I really did. I dated other people. I married Sarah. I had kids. I built a life. But Jennifer, she was always there in the back of my mind, the one that got away. I stepped closer to him. So when she reached out in April, you couldn't resist. She reached out to me. She said she was unhappy. She said she felt like her life was on autopilot. And yeah, I saw an opening. Is that what you want to hear? That I'm a bad person? Fine. I'm a bad person, but don't act like this is one-sided. Jennifer wanted this too. You were my best friend. I know. You stood next to me at my wedding. I know. You looked me in the eye and said I was your brother. Derek's jaw tightened. You got 8 years with her, Nate. I got 2 months back in college. Who really won here? The words hung in the air. I wanted to hit him. I wanted to put my fist through his face, my hands clenched into fists, but I didn't move. You think this is a competition? No, I think it's life. Messy and unfair and full of people making shitty choices. I made a shitty choice. So did Jennifer. And now we're all dealing with it. He turned to walk away. Derek. He stopped. She said your name in bed. Did she ever say yours? I don't know why he said it. Maybe he wanted to hurt me. Maybe he wanted me to feel a fraction of what he'd felt for 15 years. Whatever the reason, it worked. I walked away. I didn't trust myself not to put him through a wall. That night, Sarah called me. Nathan, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what else to do. I confronted Derek when he got home. He admitted everything. We've been fighting for 3 hours. The kids are scared. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, Sarah. Don't apologize. This isn't your fault. This isn't my fault. This is on them. I heard noise in the background, a child crying. Is that Emily? Yeah, she drew a picture earlier. I found it under her bed. What kind of picture? Sarah's voice cracked. 4 stick figures. Derek, Jennifer, me, Emily. Derek and Jennifer are holding hands. I'm crying. Emily has a sad face. At the bottom, she wrote, "Why is Daddy leaving?" My throat tightened. Sarah? She's 7 years old, Nathan. She doesn't understand why her family is falling apart. Jacob keeps asking when Daddy is coming home to read him Thomas the Tank Engine. Derek promised he'd read to him Tuesday night. That was the night he stayed with Jennifer. Jacob waited by the door for 2 hours. He fell asleep in the hallway. I closed my eyes. I'm so sorry. Me too. We sat in silence for a moment. 2 people connected by betrayal. 2 people who'd trusted the wrong ones. What are you going to do? I asked. I called a lawyer this morning. I'm filing for divorce. I'm asking for primary custody. Derek can see the kids, but not like before. Not until he proves he can put them first. That's the right call. What about you? Same. Lawyer, divorce. I don't see another option. Neither do I. The next day, I met with an attorney, Catherine Rodriguez. She was in her 50s, sharp-eyed, and came highly recommended. I laid it all out. The STD, the fake retreat, the affair, the college history, the doorbell footage, the hotel receipts I'd pulled from our joint credit card statement. Catherine took notes. She didn't look shocked. She'd probably seen worse. Do you have documentation of all of this? She asked. Yes, hospital discharge papers, Ring doorbell footage, bank statements, text messages. I slid a folder across her desk. She opened it and reviewed the contents. First page, the hospital paperwork, clinical and cold, the red positive stamp. Second page, printed screenshots from the Ring app, 10 timestamps. Jennifer entering and exiting Derek's apartment. Third page, credit card statement, the Riverside Inn, $890 total over 10 days. I'd circled the dates and highlighted each charge. October 2nd, $89, October 4th, $102, October 7th, $95, on and on. Catherine paused on one entry. Her finger tapped the paper. October 12th, she said. What about it? That's a $127 charge to the Riverside Inn. October 12th. Is that date significant to you? My stomach dropped. That's our anniversary. Catherine looked up. Your wedding anniversary? Yeah. 8 years. I bought her roses, made her favorite dinner, chicken piccata. She said she was too tired to go out. We stayed home. She went to bed early, said she had a headache. Catherine circled the date in red pen. And according to this receipt, she checked into the Riverside Inn at 3:14 p.m. that day. I thought back. October 12th, I'd been at school until 4 p.m., parent-teacher conferences, I'd gotten home at 5:30. Jennifer had been in the shower. She'd said she'd had a long day at work. I'd believed her. The Riverside Inn was 8 miles from our house, not 200 miles in Colorado. Catherine closed the folder. Mr. Parker, you have a very strong case. In California, we're a no-fault divorce state, but infidelity can impact asset division and spousal support. This level of documentation, especially the medical records, will work in your favor. I'm going to recommend we file immediately. How do you want to proceed with property division? I want the house, I said. She can have her car. We split the savings 50-50. I'm not interested in punishing her financially. I just want this over. Understood. And child custody isn't an issue here. No kids. That simplifies things. I'll draft the petition. You should be able to file by the end of the week. That night, I did something I hadn't done in years. I pulled out our wedding video. It was on a DVD. Our videographer had given us a highlight reel, 30 minutes of the ceremony and reception set to music. I'd watched it maybe 3 times since the wedding. Jennifer had watched it more. She liked to play it on our anniversary. I put the DVD in my laptop and pressed play. The video opened with footage of the venue. October 12th, 2016, a garden ceremony, white chairs, string lights, autumn leaves, then me standing at the altar. I looked nervous. I kept adjusting my tie. Then Jennifer walking down the aisle. Her dress was simple, elegant. Her father walked beside her. She was crying happy tears. I was crying too. The vows. Her voice, I promise to love you in good times and bad, in sickness and health, for richer or poorer, till death do us part. My voice, I promise to be your partner, your best friend, your home. I'll choose you every day for the rest of my life. We kissed. Everyone clapped. Cut to the reception. Speeches, Jennifer's maid of honor, funny stories, sentimental moments. Then Derek. He stood up, microphone in hand, grinning. He wore a gray vest and tie, the same gray he'd worn in his college hoodie. I hadn't made that connection before. Hi everyone, I'm Derek, Nathan's best man. I've known this guy since freshman year of college. We've been through a lot together, all-nighters studying for exams, bad breakups. That time we tried to cook Thanksgiving dinner and almost burned down the dorm kitchen. Laughter. But seriously, Nathan is one of the best people I know. He's loyal. He's kind. He's the guy who shows up when you need him. And Jennifer, wow, you're the luckiest woman alive. Nathan loves you with everything he has. Derek looked at Jennifer when he said it. She looked back. She smiled. I'd never noticed that before. The way their eyes met, the way the smile lingered a half second too long. Nathan, you're not just my best friend, you're my brother. I'd take a bullet on for you. And Jennifer, welcome to the family. You two are going to be so happy together. He raised his glass. Everyone raised theirs. To Nathan and Jennifer. To Nathan and Jennifer. The video continued. First dance, cake cutting, bouquet toss. All the moments I'd treasured. But now, all I could see was Derek, standing beside me in every shot, smiling, laughing, toasting. He was in 47 of the 120 photos in our wedding album. I'd counted. I closed the laptop. I walked to the living room. Above the fireplace, we'd hung a framed printout of Derek's best man speech. Jennifer had insisted. She'd said it was one of the most beautiful things anyone had ever said about us. I took it off the wall. The frame was heavy, wood with gold trim. Behind the glass, the speech was printed on cream cardstock. Derek's handwritten notes were in the margins. Bullet points, reminders. One line was underlined twice. Nathan, you're my brother. I'd take a bullet for you. I stared at those words. Then I opened the back of the frame and pulled the paper out. I carried it to the fireplace. I turned on the gas. Blue flames flickered to life. I held the speech over the flames. The edges curled first, turning brown, then black. The words loyalty and brotherhood melted into ash. It smelled like finality. I let the whole thing burn. Then I sat on the floor and stared at the fire. Here's where I need your take. When someone you love, really love, betrays you like this, do you? A. Burn every memory and never look back. Or B. Keep the good memories separate from the person who ruined them. Comment, burn it, or keep it. I'm curious where you land because I still don't know if I made the right call. I'd lost my wife, but I'd also lost 15 years of memories. Every laugh, every beer, every brother, all of it was rewritten. I was grieving a ghost. And the worst part? The ghost was still alive, still texting me, still acting like we could salvage something from this wreckage. Derek, Nathan, can we please talk? I know I fucked up, but we've been friends for 15 years. That has to count for something. I blocked his number, then I closed the wedding album. Derek's face stared up from every page, standing beside me, laughing, toasting, the brother I never had, the liar I always did. Catherine filed the divorce petition on Monday. Jennifer was served papers at her sister's apartment on Wednesday. By Friday, Sarah had filed her petition against Derek. The courthouse clerk commented on it when Catherine went to file. She said it wasn't every day two couples from the same friend group filed for divorce in the same week. Small town. Word traveled fast. The first hearing was scheduled for November 3rd. Jennifer wanted to contest the asset division. She argued that, despite the affair, she was entitled to half of everything: the house, the savings, my pension from the school district. Catherine had warned me this might happen. California is a community property state, she'd said. Infidelity doesn't automatically disqualify her from assets. But we have leverage. The STD puts her health at risk and yours. The medical records will matter. We sat in a conference room at the courthouse. Jennifer was on one side of the table with her attorney, a young man in an ill-fitting suit. Catherine and I sat across from them. Jennifer looked different, thinner. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail. No makeup. She wouldn't look at me. Her attorney opened with standard arguments. 8-year marriage, joint contributions. Jennifer had worked throughout the marriage. She deserved her fair share. Catherine listened patiently. Then she slid a folder across the table. Exhibit A, she said. Medical records from October 15th. Your client tested positive for gonorrhea, a sexually transmitted infection. She then exposed my client to this infection without his knowledge or consent. In California, that's a potential criminal offense under Health and Safety Code 112.290. Jennifer's attorney opened the folder. His face paled slightly. Exhibit B, Catherine continued, ring doorbell footage documenting your client's presence at her affair partner's residence over a 10-day period while she claimed to be in Colorado. 10 separate instances, time-stamped, verified. She slid another folder across. Exhibit C, credit card statements showing charges to the Riverside Inn, not in Colorado, but 8 miles from their marital home, including a charge on October 12th, their wedding anniversary. While my client believed his wife was at home with a headache, she was in fact at a hotel with her affair partner. Jennifer's attorney looked at her. She looked at the table. And finally, Catherine said, her voice level and professional, text messages recovered from my client's phone showing your client's contact information for her affair partner saved as DT with a heart emoji, indicating premeditation, deception, and sustained duplicity. She leaned back. Your client endangered my client's life. The court will care about that. So here's what we're offering. 60-40 split of liquid assets in my client's favor. He keeps the house. She keeps her car. No spousal support. Clean break. Or we go to trial and make all of this public record, including the medical records. Jennifer's attorney whispered something to her. She shook her head. He whispered again. She closed her eyes. We'll take the offer, he said. Catherine didn't smile. She simply slid the settlement agreement across the table. Jennifer signed it. Her hand shook. I signed it. My hand was steady. We left through different exits. 2 weeks later, I ran into Sarah at the grocery store. She was in the produce section holding a bag of apples. Emily and Jacob were with her. Emily saw me first. Mr. Nathan! She ran over and hugged my legs. I knelt down. Hey, Emily, how are you doing? Okay, Mommy says Daddy doesn't live with us anymore, but he still loves us. He does love you, very much. Jacob tugged on Sarah's sleeve. Mommy, is that Mr. Nathan? The one who gave me the dinosaur book? I'd forgotten about that. Derek's birthday party for Jacob last year. I'd brought a book about T-Rexes. Jacob had loved it. Yeah, buddy, Sarah said softly. That's Mr. Nathan. She looked at me. There were dark circles under her eyes. How are you holding up? I asked. Some days are better than others. The kids ask questions I don't know how to answer. Derek's parents called. They wanted to see Emily and Jacob. I said yes. But Derek's mother came. She's not speaking to Derek anymore. What happened? She called me. She said she raised him better than this. She told me she was ashamed of him. She hasn't spoken to Derek in 3 weeks. Emily tugged on my hand. Mr. Nathan, do you want to come to my school's family day? It's next month. You can come if you want. Sarah looked embarrassed. Emily, Mr. Nathan is busy. I'd love to, I said. Emily beamed. She ran back to the cart and started looking at the cereal boxes with Jacob. Sarah's eyes were wet. You don't have to do that. I want to, if that's okay with you. It's more than okay. Derek's consequences came fast and hard. Sarah's brother Brian was a vice president at the tech company where Derek worked. Derek had been there 11 years, senior software engineer, good salary, stock options, stable. Brian fired him. I heard about it through Sarah. She'd forwarded me the termination letter. It cited conduct unbecoming and breach of professional ethics. The affair had violated the company's code of conduct. Derek had been having an affair while on company time, using company resources, and it affected workplace relationships since Brian was Sarah's brother. Derek worked there 11 years. It took one affair to erase it all. The custody hearing was brutal. I wasn't there, but Sarah told me about it later. We'd started meeting for coffee once a week. 2 people who'd been collateral damage in someone else's betrayal. It helped to talk to someone who understood. Derek asked for 50-50 custody, Sarah said. She stirred her coffee but didn't drink it. His lawyer argued that the affair didn't impact his ability to be a good father, that Emily and Jacob loved him, that he deserved equal time. What did your lawyer say? She presented the ring footage, showed the timeline. 10 days Derek was supposed to be on a fishing trip. He was with Jennifer. She pointed out that during that time, Jacob had a school play. Derek missed it. Emily had a soccer game. Derek missed it. Jacob's 5th birthday was October 8th. Derek was there for 2 hours, then left to go back to Jennifer. She finally took a sip of coffee. The judge asked Derek if he could name his children's teachers. He couldn't. He couldn't name Jacob's pediatrician. He didn't know Emily was allergic to shellfish. The judge asked him when was the last time he'd attended a parent-teacher conference. He said he couldn't remember. What did the judge rule? Primary custody to me. 85-15 split. Derek gets every other weekend. Supervised visitation until he completes parenting classes and demonstrates consistent involvement. He has to pay child support. The judge said his actions showed a pattern of prioritizing personal desires over parental responsibilities. Derek's face must have gone white. He thought he could have everything, the affair and his kids. Turns out you can't. Our mutual friends picked sides. There was a group text. 8 people, friends from college and married couples we'd spent years with, barbecues, game nights, New Year's parties. Someone, I don't know who, sent a message. Annual ski trip. Are we still doing it? Silence for an hour. Then Mark, the friend who'd called me, replied, Not this year, not with everything going on. Someone else. Agreed, it wouldn't feel right. Then Brian, Sarah's brother, let's be clear, Derek's not invited. After what he did to Sarah and Nathan, I don't want him anywhere near my family. 3 more people agreed. Derek was on the text chain. He saw it all. He replied once, Got it, I understand. No one responded. He'd been part of this group for 15 years. Game nights, weddings, baby showers, all of it, gone. One affair. The worst call came from Derek's mother. She called me, not him, me. Nathan, this is Carol, Derek's mother. I remembered Carol, sweet woman. She'd made cookies for our wedding reception, homemade. She'd called me her second son. Hi, Carol. Her voice was shaking. I need you to know something. I raised him better than this. I taught him right from wrong. I don't know what happened. I don't know where I failed. But I am so sorry for what he did to you. Carol, this isn't your fault. He's my son, and I'm ashamed of him. I told him that. I told him I can't look at him right now. I haven't spoken to him in 3 weeks. I don't know if I can. She was crying. I loved you like family, Nathan. You were always good to us, and this is how he repaid you. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry, and if you ever need anything, you call me, okay? Okay, thank you, Carol. She hung up. I sat there holding the phone. Derek had lost his job, his kids, his parents, his friends. I should have felt victorious, vindicated, but mostly I just felt tired. Revenge doesn't fill the hole betrayal leaves. It just makes the hole quieter. 2 months after the divorce was finalized, Derek texted me from a new number. Unknown, Nathan, it's Derek. Can we please talk? I know I fucked up, but we've been friends for 15 years. That has to count for something. Can we meet? I stared at the message for a long time, then I replied. Me. Parking garage, 7th and Main. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Derek, thank you. I'll be there. The parking garage was mostly empty. I got there early and waited by my car. At 6:03 p.m., Derek's truck pulled in. He parked 2 spaces away and got out. He looked terrible. He'd lost weight. His hair was longer, unkempt. He had dark circles under his eyes. We stood there, 10 feet apart, 2 men who used to be brothers. Thanks for meeting me, Derek said. I didn't respond. I know I don't deserve your time. I know I fucked everything up, but I needed to see you, to tell you I'm sorry, face to face. Okay, you told me. Is that it? Nathan, come on, don't be like this. Don't be like what? Cold? Angry? You slept with my wife for 6 months. You stood next to me at my wedding, knowing you'd had her first. You looked me in the eye and called me your brother while you were planning how to get her back. What exactly do you want from me, Derek? I want my friend back. I laughed. It wasn't a kind sound. Your friend. That's rich. We were best friends for 15 years. No, you were never my friend. Friends don't do what you did. Friends don't lie for 6 months. Friends don't fuck your wife and then act like it's just a mistake. I made a bad choice. You made 1,000 choices. Every text, every hotel room, every time you looked at me and lied, those were choices. Derek's jaw clenched. Fine, you want me to say it? I'm a piece of shit. I'm selfish. I'm the villain. Is that what you need to hear? I don't need to hear anything. I needed you to be the person I thought you were. But you're not. You never were. So that's it? 15 years means nothing? It means I wasted 15 years on someone who wasn't worth it. Derek's face hardened. We're still brothers, right? Eventually, after some time passes? I looked at him. Really looked. The man I'd called my best friend. The man who had stood beside me in a tuxedo and promised loyalty. The man who'd betrayed me in the worst way possible. You were never my brother, I said. Brothers don't do this. You were just the best man at my wedding. That's it. A guy in a tuxedo reading words from a script he didn't believe. Derek's face crumpled. For a second, I thought he might cry, but he didn't. Okay, he said quietly. Okay. He turned and walked back to his truck. I watched him drive away, and I let him go. That night, I sat in my living room. The fireplace was cold. The wedding photo had been taken down months ago. The wall was bare. I thought about Derek's question. We're still brothers, right? No. Brothers show up. Brothers protect. Brothers don't sleep with your wife and then ask if you can still be friends. I'd spent 15 years investing in a friendship that was built on a lie. Derek had always seen Jennifer as the one who got away. And I'd been the obstacle between them. But here's the thing I'd learned. Brotherhood isn't a title you give someone. It's not a speech at a wedding. It's not history or inside jokes or shared memories. It's showing up. It's choosing to stay. It's actions, not words. Derek gave a beautiful speech about brotherhood, but when it mattered, he chose himself. 6 months passed. The divorce was final. The house was mine. I'd repainted the bedroom, bought new furniture, erased the physical traces of Jennifer. I was teaching full time. 2nd grade, 23 students. One of them, Marcus, was a quiet kid who struggled with reading. He was sweet, sensitive. He'd left a card on my desk back in October when he'd noticed I seemed sad. Construction paper folded in half. Mr. Parker, you seem sad. Here's a smile. He'd drawn a crayon sun. I'd kept that card in my desk drawer. Sarah and I had become genuine friends. Not romantic, just two people who understood what betrayal felt like. We met for coffee every Saturday. Sometimes Emily and Jacob came along. Sometimes it was just us. One Saturday in April, Sarah brought Emily to coffee. Emily had a piece of paper folded in her hand. Mr. Nathan, this is for you. She handed me the paper. I unfolded it. It was a drawing. 4 figures at a park. A man, a woman, a girl, and a boy. The word family in rainbow letters across the top. Underneath, in careful 7-year-old handwriting, families can be anything. My mommy says you're family now. I looked at Sarah. She was smiling, but her eyes were wet. She wanted to give that to you. She's been working on it all week. I knelt down next to Emily. This is the best drawing I've ever seen. Thank you, Emily. You're welcome. Can you come to my family day at school? It's next month. You're my family, so you can come. I looked at Sarah. She nodded. I would love to come. Emily hugged me. Jacob, who'd been coloring at the table, ran over and joined the hug. I wrapped my arms around both of them, and for the first time in 6 months, I felt something other than loss. I felt hope. 1 year later, I stood in the gymnasium at Riverside Elementary, the annual assembly, 200 students, parents, teachers filling the bleachers. Principal Henderson had asked me to give a talk. The theme was, what makes a family? I'd spent a week writing and rewriting, trying to figure out what to say, how to be honest without being bitter, how to talk about found family without sounding like I was giving a sermon. I walked to the podium. The microphone squeaked slightly as I adjusted it. Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Parker. I teach 2nd grade here. Some of you know me, some of you don't. But I want to talk to you today about family. I looked out at the audience. Sarah was there, sitting with Emily and Jacob. They waved. I smiled. When I was younger, I thought family was simple. It was the people you were related to by blood, or the people you married. That's what I believed. And for a long time, that worked. I paused. But then I learned something. Family isn't always about who you're related to. It's about who shows up, who stays, who chooses you, even when things get hard. I saw Marcus in the 3rd row. He was watching me intently. Last year, I went through something difficult, and the family I thought I had, it fell apart. But something else happened. New people showed up, people I didn't expect, and they became my family. Not because of blood, not because of vows, but because they chose to stay. Emily was grinning. Jacob was sitting on Sarah's lap, playing with a toy car, but he looked up when I said stay. There's a student in my class. Marcus, stand up for a second. Marcus stood. He looked nervous. Marcus gave me a drawing last year when he noticed I was sad. It was a crayon sun. It said, "Here is a smile." I kept that drawing, and this week Marcus gave me another one. I held up the paper, the figures at the park, the rainbow letters. This drawing shows my family, not the family I was born with, not the family I thought I'd have, but the family I chose, and who chose me back. Marcus sat down. He was smiling now. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Family isn't always easy. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it changes. But the people who matter, the people who are really your family, they're the ones who show up when everything falls apart. They're the ones who stay. I looked at Sarah. She was crying, but smiling. Thank you for listening. And remember, you get to choose your family. Choose wisely. Choose people who choose you back. The gym erupted in applause. Students clapped. Parents stood. Principal Henderson walked over and shook my hand. After the assembly, Marcus came up to me. He was holding another drawing. "Mr. Parker, I made you this." I took the paper. It showed the same 4 figures. Me, Sarah, Emily, Jacob at a park. But this time there was text at the bottom. "Family is who stays." In the corner, Marcus had signed his name. I knelt down and hugged him. "Thank you, Marcus. This means everything." "You stayed for me when reading was hard," he said quietly. "So I drew your family. Because you taught me that families don't give up." I couldn't speak. I just held him. Sarah walked over with Emily and Jacob. Emily grabbed my hand. "Mr. Nathan, can we go get ice cream? All of us? Like a family?" I looked at Sarah. She nodded. "Yeah," I said. "Let's go. All of us." That night, I stood in my kitchen and looked at the refrigerator. The wedding photos were gone. The pictures of Derek and me at college parties, gone. The magnets Jennifer had collected, gone. But there was a new photo, held up by a magnet shaped like a dinosaur, Jacob's contribution. It showed me, Sarah, Emily, and Jacob at the park last weekend. We were all smiling, genuinely smiling. Emily was on my shoulders. Jacob was holding Sarah's hand. We looked like a family. Not the family I'd planned, not the family I'd expected, but mine. I thought about Derek's best man speech. "Nathan, you're my brother. I'd take a bullet for you." He'd said those words, but when it mattered, when the real test came, he'd fired the bullet instead. Brotherhood isn't a title. It's not a speech. It's not even history. It's showing up. It's choosing. It's staying. Derek was my best man once, the man who stood beside me when I said, "I do." But he was never my brother. Sarah showed up when I was broken. Emily drew me pictures. Jacob asked me to his soccer games. Marcus gave me hope when I needed it most. That's family. That's what best really means. And I finally found mine, not at a wedding, but in the wreckage after one. If you found your family outside of blood or betrayal, I'd love to hear your story. Who showed up for you when you needed it most? Who chose to stay? Share it in the comments. We all need those reminders that family is built, not born. And sometimes the best families are the ones we choose.